All right, welcome back, crime fighters, for another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the program where you get to help us make Calhoun County a better and safer place. I'm Chris Wright, along with John Garlick. John, good to see you again.
Good to see you, Chris. Glad you're back from the mountains.
Yeah, barely made it back. nice adventure that we're not going to get into, but appreciate somebody not coming to help me after I pay them over $100 a year to be there for me. But we're not going to get into that.
We're not going to talk about that. No, we're not going to.
Well, let's talk about keeping yourself safe in situations that may arise for our viewers.
Well, that's right, and it's Christmas season, of course, and people are out shopping and buying lots of gifts, and they're toting them to their car, and they're putting them in their car, and they're going to other stores. So here's the trick. You've got your car locked, because most everybody does that, so if you don't, please do. But when you keep your presents visible in the back seat, people walk by and they go, oh, wow, look at that. And it's just really tempting to folks that might otherwise be looking for something evil to do. So maybe you got a blanket, you can cover your back seat if that's where your presents are. Lock them in the trunk is even better. And when you go home, make sure your car is locked. Bring those presents in, bring those valuables in. Don't leave your purse or your briefcase or the wonderful stocking stuffers that you've got. Bring all that stuff inside, because people are looking to help themselves on the Christmas season.
And then, of course, once we actually get there, you want to think about what you do with the boxes, the packaging, after it's all done. When somebody opens up all these presents, we don't want to put the big screen TV box and the expensive game console box and all that stuff out there beside the trash can, because that just says, hey, look what's inside this house.
Look what's inside the house, and come on in and try and get it. So yeah, try to disguise that self, cut it up, get it in your big trash bin, and then
take it down to the recycling center.
Yeah, take it to the recycling center. And then we've got, people are buying stuff from online services, and they're getting delivered to the front door or the side door, and then those people cruising the streets looking for those packages. So we want you to stay alert to people in strange cars in your neighborhood that are scoping out. We've already had a couple of calls like that where there's been a strange car, and they're probably looking for packages left on your doorstep.
Yeah, and if you've got anything that you're trying to get rid of, that you want to get out of the house, take those packages that have been delivered, take what you want out, put your garbage or whatever back in the box, set it out there on the porch like it's just been delivered, and leave it there.
Yeah, leave it there and see who takes it. Yeah, it's a great idea.
Well, let's talk about the folks that we have found this week.
The people that we have taken somewhere. We've had 2 people arrested this week, thanks to tips from the citizens of Calhoun County who are concerned with making this a safer and better place to live. And our count now is 4,301 people brought to justice.
Awesome. And we will get started with this week's lineup when we come back on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up in our lineup this week, Caleb King. Mr. King, last known to be living in Oxford, he's wanted for theft of property 4th. And this is Robert Jones. Mr. Jones, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted on a bond revocation for possession of a controlled substance ×3. And take a look at Angela Jarrett. Miss Jarrett, last known to be living in Heflin, she's wanted for bond revocations on possession of a controlled substance, possession of marijuana first, and illegal possession of prescription drugs. And this is Eric Stevens. Mr. Stevens, last known to be living in Oxford, he's wanted on a bond revocation for possession of a controlled substance, obstruction of governmental operations, and possession of marijuana second. And meet Leslie Tucker. Mr. Tucker, last known to be living in Mumford, he's wanted for a probation violation on certain persons forbidden to possess a pistol. And we'd like you to meet Marquetta Chapman. Miss Chapman, last known to be living in Talladega, she's wanted on failure to appear on criminal trespass 3rd and obstruction of justice by giving a false ID. And last up for the first half of our lineup, Terry Thornburg. Miss Thornburg, last known to be living in Lincoln, she's wanted on a bond revocation for theft of property 3rd and illegal possession of a prescription drug. And that's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the show.
All right, we'll talk about some more bad guys in just a minute, but right now, John, it's Christmas time, as we've already noted here on the show.
Yes.
And that means that we're going to be buying presents and wrapping presents.
We are.
Or maybe just buying presents and not wrapping presents.
And I've got this Fitbit-looking device.
A very low-tech Fitbit device.
Yeah, like Scotch tape holding it together, and I really don't know what this is.
All right, Susan Shipman is with us from Second Chance. And,
I am.
And every year, you guys are down at the Quintard Mall wrapping our presents for us so that people
Yes.
like me don't
Yes.
have to show how bad we are at gift wrap.
That's exactly right, and it's much better than just stuffing it down in a bag. You know, we'll put it all nice in a box and with pretty paper, nice bows, and where the edges all meet on the paper and stuff like that. And so yeah, we love doing this, and we've done this forever, as long as I've been associated with Second Chance. It's probably around 20 years or so.
That long.
Yeah, and you know, it's our largest fundraiser of the year, and it takes us 3 weeks to do it, but we really enjoy doing it as well. And those that are incompetent at wrapping, it's a really good thing for us to be there.
It takes you 3 weeks, and how many volunteers? There are a lot of people that spend some time in those booths.
Indeed, they do, a gazillion or so. We use 250 volunteers, give or take. We run 3 or 4 shifts at each station throughout the 3 weeks that we're doing the gift wrap, which starts on Friday, December the 7th, and we're pretty pumped up about that too.
That's great. And to see so many people who are willing to give up some of their time during the busiest time of the year.
Yes.
We've all got so many things to do, Christmas parties to go to and whatnot.
Yeah.
But to find a little time to get out there and do something just to help out another cause is it says a lot about our community that you've been able to do this for how many years?
At least 20.
Wow.
Yeah, it is awesome that people will, you know, people call us and like, you doing the gift wrap schedule yet? So because this is part of their busyness in the holiday season.
And I've talked to a lot of people that have done it. Now, I've never done it simply because you don't want me doing it.
Thank you.
But I've gone and gotten things. You can help out either way. You
Right.
can go down and pay somebody, make a donation so they'll wrap it for
Yes.
you, or you can be one of the wrappers, or you could do both. But I've talked to a lot of the people that I know, so many of my friends that have participated in this, and they say that it really is a big part of getting them mentally
Yes.
into the season.
In
It's
the
harder
mood.
and harder these days
Yeah.
to really start feeling that Christmas spirit. But when
Yes.
you are down there helping out a great cause like Second Chance with all the beautiful wrapping paper
Yeah.
and the boxes that make it a little bit easier than what we're trying to do
Then
at home.
on the floor at home or in the middle of the bed.
And
or-
you see
yeah.
what other people are buying for their
Yeah,
kids and other
yeah.
people.
Then you feel bad because you didn't get that for your kid.
At
Right.
the party,
That's good.
at the Christmas party. You
Yeah.
get that there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you say, oh man, I need to get one of these. Where'd you get this? You guys can help me with that too.
Yes, and we usually make a trip around or two and let all of the stores that are in the mall know that we're wrapping gifts again. And we have 2 locations. One of them is up in the hallway by the entrance on the Dillard's end of the mall, and the other one is right out in the area where Santa was last year, maybe. Caddy corner from Goodies, and so we've got a lot of space out there, and we do have a whole bunch of wrap to choose from and fluff to add to, and we have some extra this year because the Family Success Center in Gadsden is not doing Christmas gift wrap at Gadsden Mall, and they donated their supplies to us, and so
Right.
that is extremely helpful and a really good thing. We couldn't split it all up and then do that in Gadsden also, so they did that for us.
And certainly you get a lot of items, I'm sure, that people have purchased there at the Quintard Mall.
Right.
That's great. But if somebody wants to walk into the mall with stuff that they bought from somewhere else, that's fine too, isn't it?
You bet, absolutely. And if they have a whole bunch of stuff that needs to get done, you know, we'll get sticky notes and put the name of whom it belongs to on them, and they can go away and do some more shopping and come back, and theoretically their stuff will all be ready for them to go.
That's great. All right, well, we need to take a quick break. We want to come back and talk some more about the gift wrapping and also about just
Super.
in general what's going on with Second Chance and why it's important for us to continue supporting this organization in our community when we come back here on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
And welcome to the second half of our lineup. First up this half, Trevor Sanders. Mr. Sanders, last known to be living in Weaver, he's wanted for attempting to elude. Take a look at Donald Sanders. Mr. Sanders, last known to be living in Pell City, He's wanted for a probation revocation for assault second. And this is Marcus Pinson. Mr. Pinson, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for a probation violation on making a terrorist threat. And please meet James Ward. Mr. Ward, last known to be living in Tuscumbia. He's wanted for a failure to appear on burglary third. And this is Joseph Silva. Mr. Silva, last known to be living in Jacksonville. He's wanted for a probation violation on domestic violence first. And last up in our lineup this week, Terry Proctor. Mr. Proctor, last known to be living in Piedmont. He's wanted for reckless endangerment and criminal mischief first. And that's it for this week's lineup. If you know the whereabouts of these folks, please give Crime Stoppers a call. That number 256-238-1414.
All right, we will have the Crime Stoppers segment of the show in just a few minutes. Right now, John and I are showing off our special tools. It's like we're the elves on that Christmas movie.
Yes. These things are awesome. It's
I
like
just
you got
broke it. I didn't get any tape
out.
out.
Goodness,
There-
broke it right off.
Oh, it's already.
How about that?
You don't
Yes,
even
it's
have
already
to.
cut. No,
it's in
yes,
little
a
pieces
inch and a
individually
half,
already.
and
I just
there
want to
you go,
say
stick
that
and-
both of them fooled me because they said,
decoration.
hey, we're bringing some scotch to the set. And it's scotch tape.
Yeah,
So
yes,
I feel,
yes. It is Scotch tape.
I feel like I'm a little... And we're
Sorry about that.
we're taping the show.
There was probably Scotch at that Christmas party. All right,
Susan
and so
Shipman with us from Second Chance. We got the gift wrap fundraiser going on again at the Quintard
do.
Mall this year,
Yes.
and we got some great sponsors
we
that made it
have
possible.
some awesome sponsors that made it possible, and can't recite to you all of them that there are, but Ink Slingers did these T-shirts for us, basically at their cost for the design, which was really, so that's a nice in-kind contribution there, and we're most appreciative for that. And all of our sponsors get T-shirts, and we have some extra T-shirts, and I'm wearing one of the T-shirts, and here's the front of the T-shirt, which is really pretty and festive. And so we start on the 7th. And we expect to bring in around $12,000-ish. We hope that it's more like $15,000-ish. And
Let's talk about what that money does. You mentioned this is your biggest fundraiser of the year, and there are different ways that Second Chance receives funding. With everything that you do, you need every little bit you can. You guys are responsible for a larger and larger amount of what needs to be done in our community.
yeah, we've added programs over the past couple of years, and so we're pretty massive now. And from my point of view, we have a large group. We have 34 on staff now, and we use the unrestricted, that's the word, the unrestricted funds, like from our Christmas gift wrap, for match for our federal grants. Most of our federal grants have got a match requirement there from local money, and so we'll be using the gift wrap money, and we use our United Way dollars also for
And
match
what that
for our
means
federal
is
grants.
that when I go down and I make that donation to get my gift wrapped, I'm putting some money into Second Chance.
Yes.
And Second Chance is able to say,
And we're
hey,
leveraging
federal
that.
government, we got this money from Chris. Will you send us some money to match this? So that Chris's money goes twice as far, and they're doing that.
And it's about 5 times as far,
5 times,
actually.
wow.
And so that's a good leverage for us. And without the local dollars, we can't get the federal dollars, and those are extremely important to our program. So yes, if you're coming down and you're getting your gifts wrapped and making a donation, then that helps us bring a whole lot more money into our community so that we're able to help the victims.
And John, you get to see the people that Second Chance works with on a regular basis, and you see the need.
Oh, it's a tremendous need, and they do such a wonderful job, taking care of the women and the children that are involved sometimes, and giving them a safe place to be, and navigating them through that really horrific process. And we're very thankful to have them here and the great work that they do.
And the partnership we have with the Sheriff's Office is just fabulous, because you guys do get involved in a lot of what we are doing. I want to let you know that we are working towards a new project, and that is, we have a property that's a 3-bedroom house that we want to get remodeled and ready to open a men's shelter. we serve male victims, but we don't serve them in a facility where there would be other male victims. We put them in hotel rooms, and so they don't get the 24/7, like the people at our shelters do, existing shelters. And so that's our next project lined up for, we hope by the middle of next year.
I think
Yeah, no, I was going to say that's a great project.
it's very important for the men to have that community.
Oh, yes.
Like the women do.
Exactly.
I think it may be even more true for men that they feel isolated, men that are in this kind of situation. They may feel like this doesn't happen to other guys, but it
Right,
does.
and it does. And it's like our elder abuse project. If you build it, they will come. We didn't know, if that was really going to take off, but we've had a whole lot of people in our elder abuse project in our, we call it the Little House, our ADA compliant shelter. And we know that there are men in our community that don't seek our services for, reasons all their own, but a lot of that, how can this be happening to me? I'm a man. And so, domestic violence doesn't just pick women, and so we know that there's a need, and that our shelter will be full when we get it going.
All right, Susan, let's talk. Anybody that's watching saying, I want to get involved in this gift wrap or some other way with Second Chance, how do they touch base with you?
Yes, 256-236-7381. That's our office number. You can email Danielle at secondchanceinc.org, or just call, and we'll talk about the needs that we have still for our gift wrap schedule, and how to help us through the holiday season and on into the new year, because this, we do this 24/7, 365. So there's always a need for stuff, and we, without the donations from our community, we couldn't do this.
Wow. 5 times matching.
5 times.
That's amazing.
That's the federal government saying we're going to support the programs that the people in the communities say we believe in this program so much that we're going to put our dollars into it directly. I like that way of thinking.
Exactly, and it works very well for us. Oh, and thank you to Tech Bridge Dream Big Alabama. We just got a grant for a comprehensive assessment of our technology needs, and that's going to be amazing for us.
Super.
Yeah.
Cool.
Super.
Keep up the great work, Susan.
Thank you.
All right. We need to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have our Crime Stopper segment. We will not have our Crazy Criminal of the Week this week because we've got a special announcement we want to talk about. The Sheriff's Office has probably never been happier to get rid of one of our people.
Well, we're going to brag. We are going to brag. So,
When we come back on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of our show, where we ask you to help our investigators with these cases. First up this week on November 26th, sometime between 7:30 p.m. and 8:15 p.m., a Suzuki GSX-R 600 was stolen from a residence on Riches Lane in Jacksonville. It was later found abandoned on Mount Gilead Road. It's still a theft, and we need your help. And on November 29th, currency was stolen from a location on Church Avenue Southeast in Jacksonville. And last up on your caseload this week, between November 30th and December 1st, a facility on Alabama Highway 144 was unlawfully entered. A fence and electrical panels were damaged, and miscellaneous scrap metal was stolen. And that's it for the Crime Stoppers portion of the show. If you have any information on these cases, please give us a call at Crime Stoppers. That number, 256-238-1414. Remember, we want your information and not your name.
And normally we do our Crazy Criminal now, but John, I want to do away with that this week, and let's brag on somebody.
Let's brag. So, Captain Marcus Wood of the Sheriff's Office.
You've seen him on this show many times.
He has been on the show. My friend, my colleague, he's leaving us. And we're very proud of him because he's becoming the chief of police of Jacksonville.
That is great.
And tremendous opportunity for him and the city of Jacksonville.
Some big shoes to fill.
Big shoes to fill. And Marcus will do a fine job.
Absolutely will.
He'll bring community into the community policing is what Marcus is very good at, and he's going to enhance that for the city of Jacksonville, and we're very happy.
We're very proud of you, Marcus, and do us proud. I know that you will. All right, well, that's all the time that we've got for this week. We'll be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not in the lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.